Grand Rising. I am fairly excited. Last night I had a very productive meeting with my colleagues, and we're gonna be There's we got something we got something cooking up. I think I mentioned it yesterday or the day before. And yeah, so we had a meeting, and this meeting will also we're gonna have one more meeting because we had to split the meeting between people's schedules. So we're gonna have a different meeting where possibly we gotta get one person up to speed in conversation, and so like that'll be like that person plus whoever else is available for whenever that person's available to have the follow-up meeting of the six of us that are going to be part of we'll call it a podcast for now. We're going to put together something where our ideas are structured. We all have a common bond under a similar discipline, and so the discipline that it is not a secret. But I don't want to like blow up everybody's like whatever if like the way they want to talk about it and whatnot. So we have for a long time have been working under the same foundational principles, if you will. So there will be less conflict between us when it comes to certain things, because I have a nasty tendency to be way too much, and but the thing is that it only becomes too much when it's like completely off base and uncalled for. There's going to be a situation where it's being called for, and that we all are operating from the same foundation. So that's going to be exciting. We're still ironing out little things like, are we doing this weekly or monthly or whatever, but our discussion, we got out the idea of who we are and what we are. We just gotta make sure we integrate our last guy who couldn't make it with the complicated schedule work, and there's six of us, so it's gonna be complicated from time to time to nail it down, and we expect as this progresses as a series to basically have either different episodes where some of us aren't there, and different episodes where I suppose we submit something pre-recorded or something to go with it. It depends on the manner in which those who can't do the unified schedule, whichever day gets settled upon, how the ones that are odd man out function with that. And everybody is perfectly happy and excited to make all of that function. I think there's a handful of us that our time zones are very incongruent. But yeah, as far as the messaging is concerned, the kind of messaging that you like getting from me when it comes when it comes down to all the stuff of the highest importance, the mythos on the world stage, a person's interpersonal development and holding integrity to being not compromised by the world, to not accept a position that is out of alignment, that is within the world. Anthony makes video. Read more Heidegger soon. Yes. Oh, believe me. Gotta understand, my friend. Gotta understand. My work ethic. My work ethic is deeply rooted in the real world. Deeply rooted in the real world. And so it's a miracle that I get as much Heidegger out, right? It was a very different thing for me to do my readings back before 2020. Back before 2020, when the way the illusions and delusions were functioning, and the media's service of that, even the internet media's service of that, was different and not restrictive, and the schedule, that kind of a schedule, and the existence of that certain kind of nightlife, and the way the economy was, where I was personally in my life, it was just like, yeah, I could just kill all my time putting out content on the internet for free, especially because it's not about the money, it's about stopping the war on the human soul, etc., etc. Because believe me, I'm loving it. I am loving it, and at the same time, I have to be very careful with my money, and I got to make sure that I'm taking in the hours of work, and it's a long run. For me to be productive reading Heidegger, I need to clear 2 hours to 3 hours to be productive on a read, and not just do like one chapter, right? That's what it takes to go more than one chapter, and give you like a real robust live stream. So I have to have the day off the next day to do that at night, or I have to find time during the day when it's my day off, and this sexy beast has a guitar to practice, and a gym to crush. But thank you for the enthusiasm. I definitely have been loving reading Heidegger. I have definitely been loving the practical application of being in time, and the principles of Dasein into my navigation within the Maya, and this is what it's all about, and living by that personal example and experience, and having to just sit there and say, my soul don't feel right unless I express it. Oh boy, are you guys ready for cringe? I'm about to say some cringy shit. And I've been doing that a lot, like in the past, because you start out, like, I can't tell you how far back I go, and like I just feel so cringy. Everybody's like, you're alright, Steve, you're doing fine. And sometimes you'll get somebody with constructive criticism or something saying, you shouldn't do this and that. I do appreciate constructive criticism. That video I made the other day about that personal video thing where I'm talking, I got hit with some hard constructive criticism that I needed, and that I don't know if the person who told me that will even be capable of continuing to respect me on any level, even. But they certainly told me something that came from a place of, let's say, compassion. at least in the general sense, right? And so I have to take that to heart, right? And for the most part, it's just a lot of barking up the wrong tree for me. You know, there's certain worlds I step into, and the mistakes and things I've said and done on this context don't matter at all. Like, don't matter at all, or they forgive it 5 moments after it happened, and everybody moves on, right? You know, I want to be able to jump back, you know, into the heavy metal, you know, and that world, because I love going and exploring all of that side of what's going on, right? Like, in a very explicit function, right? Not just like, I did enough shadow work. And I mean, like, legitimate, there's people that don't delve into the dark world like I do. It's just like, you know, I'm not gonna have a superiority complex because, you know, a guy who's done shadow work isn't dark enough right now for my liking, you know? One of the toughest things in this is that somebody who's got their shit straightened out may also be in a path that you look at as foolish, as not a good path, you know, in the overall scheme of things for the world, even though it won't be a bother for them at all in many realistic ways, because, you know, it doesn't screw with their health, it doesn't apparently screw with their mind, and it doesn't screw with the money they make by their own effort. And it takes a different attitude, a different argument, a different conversation. A big part of our little meeting as a group was how our message works. How do we talk to our target audience? How do we build rapport, the trust, the respect? These are all elements, you know, that we're coming together to be cohesive, and to hopefully be interesting, engaging, and right in the pocket of what people are figuring out that they need out of what is missing from all of these masses, right? That we know that, you know, like a truly powerful kind of inspiration that really motivates them is missing, deeply missing. And the world has a way of distracting you from all of that in a very pleasant manner. And I also don't even want to demonize the distractions, because it takes time. And if tomorrow is not the day that you have the breakthrough that changes your paradigm, like the days that when they come for me and I've changed and I've become different, as many of you that have been watching me for at least 3 years or 4 years or so know that it works as the case this way, then the distraction is fine. You know, being like, you know, wow, look, this is a day that I spent 2 hours of my life watching a movie, instead of, you know, reading absorbing a documentary, practicing my guitar. No, I just sat down and I watched a movie and was anti-productive for the sake of my own gratification. But one could say a little bit of amusings, right? Because it's amusing. The muses, right? And the muse, it's a goddess energy that inspires you. You sit there and you admire the inherent feeling, the experience of witnessing the muse does to you, right? Which is, why we say that organized sound is music. Sound has organized to stir your emotions and inspire you. Thus, it is the voice of the muses, and that's what music is. What is music to your ears? What we got here? Is that QSB? What's up, Quite Sparky? All right. And yeah. How to curve being the time and edit. Okay. Yeah, trying to follow that, but driving obviously. Nice deep breath. Oh yeah, you guys will be happy for me. April 15th, I finally got tickets for Heilung. I'm seeing Heilung. Yes, man, they're coming to Connecticut. They're making a pit stop in Hartford, and it's in a big fancy music hall. I don't know if there's going to be seats or not. I have a bad feeling I'm gonna have to sit, because like, I don't know. I think there might be a pit, but I don't know if I don't know how the layout's gonna be. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to sit or stand at a seat to enjoy Heilung. Let's see, what time is it? Am I really that early? Dear God. I mean, I know I left kind of early, but this is ridiculously early. I got like all sorts of time. Yep, there's the truck. All right. So I came deliberately to be just ahead of time, so I can be ready to receive the truck, because we've got our greenhouse and we've got a bunch of plants we got to throw in there. We're gonna have trees and different kinds of foliage, and dracaenas, and all that good stuff is in that truck right now. We're gonna stack our greenhouse, and that's gonna carry us until spring in the greenhouse as far as plants for sale. And that's the stuff I have to do instead of reading Heidegger. So I and my colleagues, we're all working on ourselves and getting better. We hope that we become better for you guys. Like, just to throw it out there, because it's not something I ever really stopped. It's just that I struggle to really advertise myself is my tarot and rune readings. So if you want to help me have the extra resources, so that way I don't have to workaholic myself, get a tarot rune reading from me. Zerilath@yahoo.com, $90 for an hour. Zerilath@yahoo.com. And you can PayPal me, you can Cash App me, and you might be able to, I don't know, you might be able to Venmo me, I don't remember. Anyway, all those things, And let me give you a reading for a session. Right? That's one thing I do. And you know, I really tried the hustle with that, and I think. But at the same time, I really didn't want to do things other than my own way. So it was the hustle my own way, and you know, it's obvious to me why that hustle didn't work. Also, the world's really changing, right? With the loss of the, you know, with the illusion not being what it was anymore, as the age of Pisces is fading away. So is people's relationship to things like astrologers and diviners, right? Especially if your astrology or your divining is not very special and not better entrenched in the depths of the mystery. You're not going to be able to extract the true, proper, and deepest meaning from the occurrences of our age in respect to it, right? I'm not degrading what anybody's interest in coming to one is, whether you're just looking for love or business success, or if you're dealing with some way more pertinent things. Listen, it's like if it matters enough to you, you need to pay money for it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you an answer in divine accord that's going to be useful. It may ask you something hard. It may say you've got to make this kind of a choice or this kind of a sacrifice for the results you're looking for. Something like that. But at the very least, it's going to bring something into perspective. You have to ask yourself, are you ready? Do you really want the answer? Because, you know, some people don't really want the answer. That's different than the people that really don't believe that there's a good answer that can come from the randomization of pulling archaic symbols out of a bag. And obviously not everybody needs that kind of thing. But unfortunately, we also live in a society that, because they think they don't need it, they don't think anybody else could possibly need it, because they think that everybody has kind of the same needs in that respect, and so they'll never consider it because they don't believe in it themselves, which is different than it not serving them at all. So they would feel like they were doing somebody a disservice, right? And that's a big difference between people who participate in something versus people who don't believe in something. And I've worked very hard to refine the things that I believe in, to work from a place of knowing and a place of gnosis. And to speak only from my gnosis, unless I can remember to disclaimer that this is more intuitive, this is more of a theory, this is more of a guess, right? Because sometimes I may want to say that because I'm trying to throw an idea out there and work with people and say, can we determine this to be a truth or a lie? I'm still working that out. Here's my X, Y, and Z questions that will bring me to my own certain conclusions. Anyway, I'm gonna go and hop in there. Thank you guys so much. I'm working the next couple of days in a row. I'll see if Wednesday night is gonna be a good night for me to Heidegger. Let's see if Wednesday. Maybe I'll do it earlier if not tonight though. Maybe I'll do it. I could possibly do it tomorrow night, maybe, if I can get home early enough, give myself enough time. I probably won't, because you run out of hours at the end of the day with everything you have to do before you get home and settled in and then relaxed. And I need to be relaxed, so that way, I can give you the full performance that is the Zerilath. Catch you guys later.